Well, here we are, everybody, returning today to, of course, VIXX. And today we are starting off with a kind of like a duo song here. It's Trigger and Beautiful Killer. I had that listed like that anyway, so it works out great that they both are in the same live. So this has been really good. Yesterday was, that was an awesome day. So anyway, my name is Aaron, and if you're new here, I try to help you to love the music that you already like, and yeah, hopefully I can be successful at that. Anyway, let's continue on with our deep dive into VIXX.
오직 한 발 관행처럼 난 널 기다리고 있을 뿐 내가 넘겨 걸려 너의 손끝에 조리고 우리 시작이란 네가 하는 건 내가 할 수 있는 것은 없어 우리 너무 기울어진 건 Oh baby 오직 너의 결정만 남아 너에게는 당겨봐 너에게는 쓰러져 내 심장을 맞춰봐 완전하게 가져봐
That's really cool.
부담 없어 정말 명분이고 내가 가슴 맞을 거야 그러니 어서 불러 트리거 깜질 당겨 시어 커릭 킬러 내 말 들었다 Dance in a Rio
팔을 살짝 벌린 채너 하나만 응시해 난
터치다운 하는 순간 팔가 따라가니 거야 날 잡아다 클릭 락락
짧은 순간에 뺏겨버린 걸 나의 작은 세포 하나같이 무력하게 넘겨버린 걸 Oh baby 너의 손에 날 잡으리 나가는 당겨봐 너에게는 쓰러져 내 심장을 맞춰봐
This is very smooth.
숨쉴 수도 없게 사로잡아줘 내가 기다리는 말로서 내게 줘
내게 너의 집중을 내게 너의 선택을 날 어떻게 할 건지 두 눈 속에 내가 비쳐 단 하나의 광역이 되기를 기다리고 있어 기억하고 저격해 내 눈에 생각을 돌이킬 수가 없도록 거부할 수가 없도록 어서 나를 관통해 분명하게 가져봐 이미 나를 다 던졌어 하나긴 했습니다
숨쉴 수도 없게 사로잡아줘 내가 기다리는 말로서 내게 줘 숨쉴 수도 없게 사로잡아줘 내가 기다리는 말로서 내게 줘
That was a cool transition.
할 수 없어 두 손 다 들었어 등 다 짙어져가 잡혔을 때부터 아니 그 전부터 이유는 없어 널 향해 가 생각을 할 수가 없어 두 팔이 움직여만져 흔들리는 너도 써 지나는 눈동자 가까이 갈수록 계속 가져가는 경고는 You know This is a killer 정확히 왼쪽 가슴을
노렸어 날 더 조여오고 있어
She's a killer 심장을 뚫었어
차갑게 나를 노려보고 있어
같은 이유 속에 또 베어버린 가슴에 새겨진 Final Fantasy Beautiful killer 현실인지 아니 꿈속인지 확실한 건 너 하나뿐 끝을 알 수 없어 사실 끝은 없어 네 눈빛은 아름다워 완벽한 타이밍일 때 선택을 하나남을 때 가슴속을 파고들 날 부르는 목소리를 꺼놓지 뛰어든 끝에 오늘로 느끼는 You know, you know She's a killer 저밖에 왼쪽 가슴을
노렸어 날 더 조여오고 있어
Yeah, she's a killer 심장이 끊었어
차갑게 나를 노려보고 있어
나 같은 네 웃음에 또 베어버린 가슴에 새겨진 Final Fantasy Beautiful killer 위험한 아름다움에
미쳐서 돌아가는 길은 없어 내 몸이 머리 집어삼키네 너를 거치지 않고
와.
내 세종이 너의 눈빛을 감전하고 나서 총구는 나를 향해 겨우고 치명타를 맞은 내 몸은 뜨거워해 내 말이 이해가 돼
You know, you know, you know You know you got 세상 거치게 내 불감만
여기서 어서 나를 데리고 가
She's a killer 차라리 누가 말 이대로
That's so nice.
뜨거워진 내 가슴에 널 깊게 새겨 이 순간 넌 내게 Final Fantasy
미쳐서 멈춰서는 길은 없어
That was cool. You know, there's a lot to really like about this, but I think in reality, this boils down to just a couple of things, and for a lot of things anyway. One, I like the fact that it's so smooth. The performance, the choreography, the vocals, the whole song, the way it's even structured feels actually pretty smooth. But the thing that is, I think I find interesting is that when we get to kind of like the halfway point, I started realizing that the thing that also really contributes to this is just the fact of the matter is that there's a beautiful sense of just a consistent energy throughout, because I feel like that a lot of times when a song is very silky smooth and like has kind of like that more smooth feel to it, that sometimes I feel like unless the song is really good, it feels like that it flounders after a while. You know what I'm saying? Like after a while you're just kind of like, okay, yeah. But like when you are able to strike a consistent and attractive energy throughout, that really kind of helps out a song like this. And honestly, it's nice. I just think that like with something like this, for example, I do feel like that in some ways it kind of helps make the song have just like that little bit of extra texture and color. Although you do sometimes sacrifice a little bit of like the emotional aspect of it. But I feel like that with that being said though, is it something that is worth having that happen? Is it worth having that song maybe not quite have that exact like punchy feel emotionally for the energy that is produced? And I think a lot of times it's yes. I think that the outcome is generally yes, and not as affected as one might consider. So anyway, we're gonna move on and we're gonna check out Shangri-La next. I think that's probably the most that I have off the top of my head as of now. Well, I might come back and revisit that song and maybe I'll glean something else from it. But let's move on to Shangri-La, shall we? Divine Channel. Whoa!
너와 함께 있다면 어디든 마음이 아플 때면 부러울 그림 속 난 내게 취해 아득한 향기 기대 시간 따위 버려두고 날 바라보고 하얀 달이 지면 내를 비친 너를 보고 낮과 밤이
Ah.
전부 너야 틈틈없이 모든 숨소리가 너인 것만 같아 덕질해 죽다 죽게 이 밤 깊이 번져가고 있어 벗어날 수 없게 눈 감고 내 안에 널 또 찾잖아 난 취해 좀 더 취해 이 꿈속에 빠져들고 싶어 널 다가와서 내게만 스며들어
That's actually a really cool fan chant.
붉은 동백이 짙은 빼짝한 입술은 눈부시게 빛나고 잠재운 마음속에 파도를 부르고
덜 익은 복숭아마저도 달다 빛날리는 꽃잎 아래 네 비난겨로 자라 그 끝을 따라 너와 가난한 네 숨소리 잘 알아 네가 내가 꿈 같은 상상
낮과 밤이 전부 너야 홀릴 것 같아 덕질해 좀 더 짙게 이 밤 깊이 번져가고 있어 벗어날 수 없게 눈 감고 내 안에 널 또 찾잖아 난 취해 더 취해 이 꿈속에 빠져들고 싶어 너 다가와서 내게만 스며들어 텅 비어냈던 나의 공간을 채워줘
This is an interesting song.
아름답고 따뜻했고 신비해 난 알아 너와 나라 꿈에 번진 환상 그 안에서 가까워지는 너 다시 또 마음이 기억나게 하죠 넌 알아 너만 알아 찾아 헤맨 그곳 바로 너야 다시 눈을 뜨면 내게만 스며들어
Wow. This is quite different. This is very cool. I really like the choreography in this one, actually. The choreography to this is actually insane. It starts from the very get-go, too.
들어져 피는 꽃 바람마저 달콤한 이
I think the one thing that I always find interesting about their choreography is a lot of times it feels like visually it's supposed to look like chaos, but in reality, like a lot of it's really controlled and very like perfectly timed. It's one of those things that like if you kind of let yourself get swept away, it's gonna kind of come across as like, whoa, what are they doing? This is so different. This is so weird. Why are they doing this? Why is it so this or that? Why does it feel so chaotic? But it's very controlled, and I really appreciate like the I would say showmanship behind it, because I feel like that a lot of ways, if it was a group of lesser ability, that it would not be something that could be done very well, and I think it would generally come across as like kind of not good. Is that fair to say? I think that's fair to say. But I think there's one thing that I find really interesting about this is this kind of like Shangri-La, the kind of, if I remember, I think it's Chinese, right? That's a Chinese mythology kind of theme. And I find that interesting because I feel like that's an instrument that you hear fairly common inside of like the Chinese music as well. I never properly learned the name of it. I think it's like the guzheng, right? It's almost like a giant steel guitar, but it's played like standing up, and it's laying down almost like a steel guitar is, but It's actually, I think it's very beautiful.
하얀 달이 들면 달에 비친 너를 보고 낮과 밤이 전부 너야.
I could be wrong. That's just kind of what it sounds like. But I kind of like when stuff like this happens because in a lot of ways, I feel like that what we get is it's one of these songs that has like pretty good like cultural feel behind it, but there's that modern twist of having the hip hop attached to it, right? And so it kind of creates this awesome blend, like with the hand fans and definitely the styling too. I mean, they are 100% dressed to the T, and it really kind of brings it all together in a lot of ways. So with the song itself, I find it to be very interesting. Because the truth is that, this is my personal opinion, the song is a little weird. It's a little bit of a weird song. See what I'm saying? Like it's still like, in a sense, one of these things where when you listen to a song like this, you're like, whoa, this is really weird. And yet, like, it kind of makes it distinctive, because how often do you hear music, especially nowadays, being made like this? That's kind of the beautiful thing about VIXX in general, is like a lot of their stuff, it feels a little bit more experimentative when it kind of gets to this kind of stuff. I definitely feel like that when it comes to like the whole concept kings and stuff like that. I mean, I think this is still kind of part of that, because I mean, I feel like that this is something that you don't really get a whole lot of, even, like I said, even back then with a lot of the kind of more weirder music, it really kind of just really sets them apart and continues down that reputation that they have. It's interesting because I just feel like that it has a really good blend of tradition and modern feel behind it. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Let me know what y'all think about this. We're gonna move on though. Okay, we have a proper B-side here, when you know that the only thing that you can find is bad fan cams and color-coded lyrics. That's the territory that we are in, and yeah, it should be really cool. Let's check it out. Oh yeah, it's Maze, by the way.
끝없는 미로와 투월 돌고 돌아도 전부 너에게로 이어진 길뭘 꼬집어봐도 난 이상한 이 꿈에 갇혀버린 것 같아. 사방팔방이다 길이 없다 달리고 달려도 제자리로 가. 넌 열쇠가 없는 보물상자와 같아 다가다 박아도 맞지 않아. Maze running running maze running 내 사랑은 crazy 지독한 maze running running maze running running we go crazy 끝없는 maze 여기저기 maze 여기저기 온통 너를 닮은 사냥꾼 이젠 벗어나고 싶은데 we go crazy 지독한 maze running running maze running running 혼미진 구석까지 싹다 헤집어봐도 결국 끝에 가서 막혀진 길 이제 노래되어서 다 배워버린 꿈속을 헤매고 또 헤매요. 이제 지치는 게 지쳐 전부 다 비켜 나간 판단거 please give me some baby 넌 다 출구가 없는 미로와 동가 다 전부 똑같아 영원한 가마. Maze running running maze running 내 사랑은 crazy 지독한 maze running running maze running running we go crazy 끝없는
Oh, wow, 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 wow. Interesting, interesting. We start off with like this like beautifully energetically smooth song with like a great choreography and like interesting hook and kind of like this really nice beautiful energy to like something that has like a weird but cultural feel behind it that's just like has this interesting dynamic to this song, which, if I may be honest, feels very much like a very typical like second, third gen kind of song. Like the you could I feel like this is one that you could give to like a lot of groups and it would be kind of hard to distinguish who it is in a lot of senses, regardless. Well, I mean, it's re. Let's see, what is the word? It's not irregardless because that's not actually a word. Nevertheless, basically, like I feel like at this time, this kind of particular song and sound was very popular, you know? And I mean, it kind of makes sense that VIXX is not going to fully escape from their, generation without having something like this. So it kind of makes sense that we got what we got. So I totally think that this actually kind of works. It kind of reminds me of like when we were listening to Shiny and FX, kind of like that kind of era. And I remember there's that music video that we did of them running through the airport from Shiny, and it kind of reminds me of this song a little bit. It's not a bad song for sure. Like I said, it kind of is one of those things that like I was kind of at some point expecting something like this to happen, and here we are. And they handle it well though. I mean, the interesting thing is though is like because this is kind of that same feeling that I was talking about, that it is one of those moments where you realize, oh yeah, like they certainly, when they are off doing their concepts and doing their more weirdest stuff like that, they really truly shine. Like this is still good, but I feel like in a lot of ways VIXX is I've come to have a certain appreciation for their really rich and weird concept and kind of depth that they generally have, whether we're talking about like Hyde and Great RU and like the Greek stuff. Then we go to this. I mean, I feel like there's always a place for something like this, like I said, but I find it interesting because like those are kind of like the standard, like the gold standard. This is like, oh, this is how good they can be. So when you hear something like this, you're like, oh, okay. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but yeah, no, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. It's definitely inoffensive for many reasons for that reason, but they do it well. Anyway, let me know what y'all think about this. We'll discuss this down in the comments below. Thank you and goodbye.